Imagine walking through a quiet village in Zhejiang province, China, where the soft hum of daily life drifts across a landscape that has barely changed in centuries. Farmers tend to their fields, distant hills glow beneath the sun, and a calm pond reflects the sky like a sheet of glass. Nothing here suggests that beneath your feet lies one of the greatest unsolved engineering puzzles in human history. Yet, for thousands of years, an entire world massive, silent, untouched has been carved deep into the earth, waiting for someone to discover it. This is the story of the Longyou Caves, a mystery so vast and so precise that even modern engineers pause in disbelief. It began in 1992, when a local farmer named Wu and I decided to drain one of the region's many ponds. As far as villagers knew, these ponds had always existed dark, still, and bottomless. They assumed they were natural. That was the way it had always been. But curiosity has a way of rewriting history. Wu rigged up a pump, expecting the water to reveal mud, rocks, maybe an uneven depression in the land. Instead, hour after hour, the water level dropped evenly, as if he were draining a perfectly shaped container. After more than 5 days of continuous pumping, the truth emerged. Beneath the water was a carved stone chamber of staggering size. At first glance, it looked impossible, a man-made cavern hundreds of square meters across, its walls perfectly straight, its ceiling soaring overhead like the nave of a cathedral. Word spread quickly, and soon more ponds were drained. One cave became two. Two became three. By the time the villagers had finished, they had uncovered not a single cavern but an entire underground complex of at least 24 enormous caves, all connected by the same uncanny precision. Each cave had been carefully engineered with uniform patterns etched into the walls, thousands upon thousands of parallel chisel marks running like ripples across the stone. Every chamber featured massive pillars, high archways, and intersecting sections that made it look less like a natural formation and more like the work of an ancient architect who believed in geometry, symmetry, and impossibly high standards. Even more astonishing, none of these caves show signs of soot, smoke, or fire, the kind of evidence one would expect if they were illuminated with torches during construction. There are no discarded tools, no broken pottery, no bones, no carvings of kings or gods. There is no writing on the walls, nothing to suggest who built them, why they were built, or how people achieved such monumental engineering with the limited tools available thousands of years ago. It is as if the builders carved out millions of cubic feet of solid sandstone, and then vanished. To understand the scale, imagine this. Each Longyou cave is roughly the size of a modern airplane hangar. The largest one, Kabe no Anono, covers over 1,000 square meters and reaches heights of nearly 30 meters. The pillars are arranged so perfectly that even with today's machinery, replicating their alignment would require meticulous planning. Yet, whoever created the caves left no blueprints, no legends, no cultural references. As far as ancient texts go, it's as if these caves never existed. Archaeologists eventually dated the caves to around 2,000 years old, during China's late Qin or early Han dynasty. But this only deepens the mystery, because the people of that era, while advanced, left records of nearly everything. They documented the building of tombs, the raising of walls, the founding of cities, even minor construction projects. But about the Longyou Caves, not a single word. It is one of the few monumental works in Chinese history with zero historical documentation. Some researchers believe the caves were used for storage massive underground granaries or reservoirs, but these explanations fall apart quickly. Why carve out vast caverns at colossal cost and labor, only to leave no trace of use? Why maintain such immaculate surfaces? Why build 24 of them? Others suggest that the caves served as royal hideouts or places of ritual, yet there are no offerings, altars, or signs of habitation. The caves aren't connected by tunnels, and the entrances are simple, not ceremonial. It is as though functionality wasn't the purpose, yet neither was decoration or symbolism. It's a paradox. Then there's the engineering problem. Each cave must have required removing hundreds of thousands of cubic meters of rock, likely by hand, chisel, and hammer. A workforce would have needed food, shelter, and organization. Foremen would need to coordinate the layout so that entire chambers didn't collapse on themselves. Structural integrity would be a constant threat. Yet every cave remains standing today, perfectly stable, with no modern reinforcement. Tourists who visit the caves describe an eerie sensation. Standing inside one of the caverns feels like stepping into a prehistoric cathedral built by people who understood mathematics on a level far beyond what the history books claim. The walls absorb sound. Footsteps echo strangely. It is quiet in a way that feels ancient and deliberate. The mystery deepens when you examine the chisel patterns. They are uniform not just within each cave, but across all. The spacing, angle, and style of the marks suggests that the entire complex was carved by the same group of people, possibly even within the same generation. That means thousands of workers, all following the same blueprint, coordinating the removal of millions of tons of stone in perfect harmony. And yet, silence in the historical record. One theory proposes that a major flood or geological event wiped out the civilization that built the caves, erasing the memory of their achievement. Another theory imagines a secret dynasty, a breakaway society with architectural knowledge lost to time. Some fringe researchers go even further, suggesting the caves were not built for humans at all, but inherited from an unknown culture, an ancient precursor whose existence has never been confirmed. But perhaps the most intriguing question is not how these caves were built, but why they were abandoned. If they were meant for storage, why leave them empty? If they were meant for rituals, where is the evidence? If they were meant for hiding, why build so many? The caves feel purposeful, intentional, and yet completely without explanation. As modern engineers examine the caves, many admit they cannot determine how ancient workers prevented collapses or maintained such precision without advanced surveying tools. The symmetry is too perfect, the lines too clean. The sheer amount of stone extracted is almost unthinkable without modern machinery. And so, the Longyou Caves remain what they have always been. A silent enigma carved into stone. A message from the past, written not in ink, but in absence. A monument built by hands we cannot identify, for reasons we cannot grasp, using methods we cannot explain. Standing inside those caverns, you feel the weight of history pressing in, whispering that not all human knowledge has survived. Some of it is buried, sometimes literally waiting for discovery. The Longyou Caves remind us that the past still holds secrets capable of humbling the present, and that sometimes the greatest mysteries are the ones that lie right beneath our feet.